Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my True Draco Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for July 2025. The True Draco deck, while to some has been a fan favorite, it's also been sort of a infamous Yu-Gi-Oh deck for the years. We had some reprints in the Monster Mayhem booster set, so I wanted to give an update to the deck with the ease to be able to obtain Masterpiece for the deck. Now, it's also been in the Stampede booster set, and you never know, with the next ban list, we may see this card come to 2. I don't think it would happen. There's always a chance. Some people didn't think Masterpiece would even come off the ban list, but here we are with it being at 1 off the list, and I've never actually done an update to the deck since the card went to 1 as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for starters, our monster lineup consists of Masterpiece to tribute summon this face-up card. You can tribute continuous spell or traps you control as well as monsters, unaffected by the effects of cards with the same card type. Monster, spell, or trap is the original card type tributed for its tribute summon, and once per turn if you control this tribute summon monster, quick effect, you can banish one continuous spell or trap from your graveyard to target one other card on the field and destroy it. So just for the fact that this card's unaffected by the cards used to tribute for it, if you tribute a monster and a trap, then it's just unaffected by those two cards, making it all the more difficult to get around this card. So definitely useful depending on what you want to go for the tribute, and then having the additional destruction play just by banishing a continuous spell or trap from your graveyard. We're also running 3 copies of Dynamite Knight, the true Draco fighter, to tribute summon this face-up card. You can tribute continuous spell or traps you control instead of monster. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control this tribute summon monster, quick effect, you can take one true Draco or true King continuous trap from your deck and either activate it or add to your hand. So then just more setup for the many infamous, true Draco spell or traps that we run in the deck as well that can just be searched out thanks to Dynamite. This was another card that was at 1 for a good while, but now seeing true full power again for the deck to be able to be used in its stead. With the other true Draco monsters we have being 2 copies of Ignis Heat, the true Draco warrior. To tribute this face-up card, you can tribute continuous spell or traps, just like the other options for all the true Draco monsters. And once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while you control this tribute summon monster, quick effect, you can take one true Draco or true King continuous spell from your deck and either activate it or add to your hand. So this is the power for the search for the true Draco spells for that setup on the field as well, just responding to your opponent's card effects when they activate, with the last of the true Draco monsters being the 2 copies of Majesty Maiden, the true Draco caster, having the same tribute options, and when your opponent activates a card effect while you control this tribute summon monster, you can add one true Draco or true King monster from your deck to your hand. We're having the response for all of these different cards, and then being able to just utilize each one, whether it be for their monsters, their spells, or their traps. You have all of these searchers options available to you to grab the many different ones that we run in the deck altogether, with the only other last monster that I run being 2 copies of Amano Awado. It cannot be special summoned. Monsters cannot activate their effects except for spirit monsters, and once per turn during the end phase, if this card is normal summon, flip face up this turn, return this card to the hand. So it just gives you more interaction to not have any interaction from your opponent, using this card as sort of a lock against your opponent to be able to do so. Another card at 1 for the deck is our Dragonic Diagram. Definitely, justified at 1 for this card for the fact that it's just another powerhouse in the deck. All true Draco and true King monsters in the field gain 300 attack and defense, and the first time each tribute summon true Draco or true King monster be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not. And once per turn, you can destroy one other card you control or in your hand and add one true Draco or true King card from your deck to your hand. So then just having the added scent power of your destruction for your true Draco spell or traps on top of a search makes this just one of the better setup cards to utilize in the deck. And also, we're running 3 copies of True Draco Heritage. During your main phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of True Draco and True King cards, types, monster, spell, and traps sent from the field to the graveyard this turn. And during your main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 true Draco or true King monster face up. And if this card is sent from the spell and trap cards onto the graveyard, being able to target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. So you have the destruction power on top of the draw power on top of the tribute power for this card, making it a definite 3 of in the deck to always have this setup to utilize. And then 2 copies of Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix, being able to target 3 True Draco or True King cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 1 card. So it's recycle power for the other ones that we run, since they'll be tributed and used for our True Draco monsters to be able to summon out. And being able to immediately after this effect resolves, you can tribute summon 1 True Draco or True King monster face up, and if it's sent from the spell and trap cards under the graveyard, being able to target spell or trap and destroy it. Same destruction power, but being more of a recycle card. We're only running 2, so we have more options to see it late game, as well as being able just to search and set it up with our True Draco monsters. Some of the generic spells we run include 3 Pot of Duality. You don't special summon really at all in this deck. You really don't, so just draw power to get what we need. It doesn't limit us at all just for not being able to special summon, but great search for the deck as well. The one-ofs include the 1 Terraforming to search out Draconic Diagram, 1 March of the Monarchs for added protection for our tribute summon monsters, and also the 1 Card of Demise for once we empty out our hand, being able to draw more, and then potentially set up with a full back row thanks to this card as well. For the traps, 3 copies of True Draco Apocalypse. With this card, if it's sent from the spell and trap cards under the graveyard, target 1 monster on the field and destroy it. You cannot activate the following effects of True Draco Apocalypse in the same chain. You can target 1 other True Draco or True King card you control, destroy it. If you do, the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent currently have become half their current attack and defense, even if this card leaves the field. And during your opponent's main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 True Draco or True King monster face up, having the tribute option in the form of a trap, and also being the monster destruction power, while the spell handled the spell and trap destruction power. Just another definite search option to use also with Dynamite, which can easily set this card up on the field all the faster. 3 copies of True King's Return as well for the added, if this card is sent from the spell and trap card zone, destruction power, and being able to target a True Draco or True King in your graveyard and special summon it in defense. Also for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon, and during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summons. This is the only way you'll really special summon in the deck, but it's more or less one of the cards you want to use for this play on your opponent's turn for that reaction to have your True Draco monster set up very easily with your True King's Return. And then we're also running 2 copies of Lose One Turn. More reaction to special summon monsters not being able to do much by switching them to defense. And the 2 copies of Monarchs Erupt. Activate this card only if you have no cards in your extra deck, which we are not running any cards in the extra deck. So with this card, with this tribute, negate with this card, if you have no cards in your extra deck and you control a tribute summon monster, negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field while those monsters are face-up on the field, except for tribute summon monsters. So both of these cards are just lockdown control for your opponent's monsters not being able to use their card effects or just be able to activate their effects unless they're tribute summon monsters. More of those control cards include the 1 copy of Skill Drain, the 1 Rivalry as well, one-ofs but still big lockdown cards to use against our opponent as well, with the rest of the trap lineup being the Solemn package. This card's just more or less protection for your back row, stopping the actual summons of bigger monsters that, let's say, the True Draco monsters would not be able to get around as well for that added setup on the field. And you don't really use your life points for anything in this deck, so you can save them for the Solemn Judgment package as well. And as mentioned before, you don't run an extra deck in this deck, so you can focus on some of the trap and spell lineup that we run for the main focus for the True Draco monsters. And the biggest setup in this deck is just knowing what you have for your opening hand. If you have one of your traps to be able to tribute for your True Draco monsters, then you have the reaction time for your opponent to then give you that tribute for the continuous power trap you control for those added cards as well, depending on your setup. If you have the early setup control, you can use Duality for the search. This type of control deck just focuses on what you open up in your beginning hand to be able to use. But as always, that's it for the deck profile. And until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.